Now, with the secondary man, which was caused by the angels bearing children unto the daughters of men, there became a secondary man placed upon the earth who was part of the human race, but yet not of the human race, totally. Having a father who was of the fallen angels. But as we go back to the first part of Bible prophecy and understand the fact the dominion of the entire earth and everything about the earth was given to Adam, who God taken Eve from the inside. Therefore, if God had already closed the book of life and had given dominion unto this man, where I have revealed the genetic color code of, then we would understand what the conflicts of war is today and how all of these wars came to be. Because if the secondary man had no birthrights on this earth, and his father came from heaven, and he had no birthrights in heaven, because there's no way that his body would withstand. There's no way his body could go to heaven and return back as his father. But yet there was a spirit came from the angels entombed in the flesh of men that had no birthrights in heaven nor upon the earth. They had no dominion in heaven because the dominion in heaven belonged to God. The dominion on the earth belonged to the man that God created and called his name Adam from the foundation of the world. So therefore, this man is not in the book of life. Why did I say this? Because this is what Revelation's speaking of. Regardless of how this man have towered himself and became a mighty man in this earth, of great nations and great peoples, there's one thing he have not accomplished, and that is take dominion over this earth and rule earth. Well, what is God trying to tell us? By him being or product caused by the fallen angels, whose home was was not of this earth, he considered not himself as being a product of this earth, but he wanted part of him said, I want to rule just like a God. I want to maintain a flesh status, the human status as human, but I want to be as a God to the things that God created for himself, the human race that was yet pure upon the face of the earth. This is what this person has said. As it was said in parts of the Bible, Revelation, I believe, 11 part there, it said, you'll know whose name was not in the book of life from the foundation of the world. Let me go to where I left off from in my Bible study, as I made other things, other parts on and placed them out there on YouTube for the world to see, so they could understand the significance of the war. The war is not about what it was perceived to be, but because of that dominion was given to a certain pedigree, a certain man of the human race, who I have said was a black man. And the only way this nation peoples who was not in the book of life can have dominion, it means that he will have to defeat by the sword and slay so many of these people who do not agree with him, who obey the God who created them. He will have to take their law, the law that God created for the human race, because it was God who created the earth. He would have to take dominion away and force those people to serve, and he will have to rule them as if he is their God. This takes us to this point, it takes us to the prophecy of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 14. I said before I arrived at this point here, if this is the United States of America, who has gone upon the brink of earth? I showed you where God had spoke concerning, described this space shuttle in depth. And the United States itself had placed a name up on this space shuttle. Let me read to you this part. Isaiah chapter 4. But the Lord will have mercy on Judah. This Isaiah chapter 14. I may have short circuit that is in 4. But the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest. He's giving you a point in time here, for thy sorrow and from thy fear, from thy sorrow and from thy fear, and from thy hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. He's talking about the whole tribe from Reuben to Benjamin. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord has broken thy staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the peoples in wrath with a continuous stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, he is persecuted and none hinders. Verse 7, 14:7, Isaiah 14:7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yes, the fir tree rejoice at thee, and the cedar of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no battle is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at the coming. At thy coming, it stirs up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of earth. It has raised up from their throne all the kings of the nation. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy bowels, the worms is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the side of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the side